Now to the race for Oregon governor. TEDx apologized this past weekend after adding a surprise talk with Betsy Johnson to its event lineup. It was not well received. The nonprofit called Johnson a potential political candidate in its apology, even though she was introduced as a candidate for governor and has been openly campaigning for months. Investigative reporter Evan Watson is here to explain why the distinction between potential and official candidate is so important. Evan?
Well, it's important because it could mean legal ramifications for TEDx Portland, but not for Betsy Johnson herself. Johnson has raised more than $3 million for her campaign, but because she's running as a non-affiliated candidate, she's not technically on the ballot just yet. Here's why that matters.
As a candidate running independent of a major political party, Betsy Johnson has yet to qualify to put her name on the ballot in November. Yes, she's announced she's running for governor and has raised millions, but her qualification really started 2 weeks ago when she filed this prospective certificate to collect signatures. Johnson needs 23,744 signatures from registered Oregon voters to get on the ballot. That number represents 1% of the votes cast in the most recent presidential election. Johnson's campaign needs to turn in those signatures and have them verified by Oregon's Elections Division by August 30th.
24,000 signatures should not be a barrier. And she's talking as though she's going to be a candidate. People are considering her as though she's going to be qualified. She just has to do the actual formality of kind of getting those signatures.
KGW political analyst Lynn Bergstein says he would be shocked if Johnson's team had trouble collecting the required signatures. He expects Johnson's campaign will use the results as a political motivator this summer.
This will be a way for her to show, gee, not just that I had to go for 24,000, but I got so many more. That this will be another validation point that they will use, her campaign will use to try and show that, gee, people are just dying to have her in the race.
Johnson is currently considered a candidate by the Oregon Secretary of State's office, having filed a statement of purpose with her PAC. All campaign finance rules currently apply to her as well, but there's some ambiguity.
The fact that she is not fully qualified as a candidate may affect the outcome of the way people look at the TEDx conference flap.
Federal laws say a nonprofit must give equal opportunity for all political candidates to speak if one is invited to talk at an event. At TEDx Portland, some crowd members shouted for Johnson to address her record on gun control and felt frustrated by the political nature of the talk. The Oregon Department of Justice says it received 7 complaints referencing Johnson's appearance at TEDx Portland, which it sent on to the IRS for review. But technically, Johnson isn't on the ballot just yet.
I think it's a legal fig leaf that will probably get everybody through any legal consequences for what happened this past weekend.
Bergstein says Johnson's path to the ballot, which includes avoiding contentious primary elections, is part of her campaign strategy.
She's chosen a different path because that's really what they want. That's part of the whole narrative, part of her appeal or part of her, kind of the people might be concerned about.
Evan Watson reporting for KGW News.
Evan mentioned Johnson's record on gun control. She voted against many gun bills while she was a state senator. That included laws to increase background checks, keep guns away from people convicted of domestic violence, and to safely lock up firearms. Well, today she sent us a statement saying she's now open to more gun control. She wrote, "As governor, I will support and enforce stronger background checks for gun purchases and raising the age to purchase certain firearms from 18 to 21. These are both practical ideas to help keep guns away from people who could be a danger to themselves or others." She also says she would work to improve Oregon's mental health care system and support schools that want safer buildings.